So what's up, guys? I am back in my park in Dubai. I just came back from a vacation to South Africa, actually, which is whole of the topic. Beautiful country. I'm obviously here to fly in my park first and foremost, but I just wanted to take a couple minutes and talk about something that I really love, right? So when I find stuff that I really love in this hobby, I figure it might be worth sharing that info with you guys so that, you know, maybe other people will learn stuff or make better decisions, etc. So one thing I really love is this guy right here, which is my flight bag. So this is the Think Tank Airport Helipack. Now, and I'm quickly going to go over why I love this thing. So first and foremost, what do you see with this thing? It's fully loaded up right now, and you know, check it out. It's like ain't nothing to see but a bag. So that is one thing I really like about this bag, because I like the stealth factor of it. Right, so the stealth factor thing is pretty important to me personally. It's a personal preference. Some guys like to you know, strap their quads in the back of the bag or the sides of the bag and just carry it around like that. Yeah, you can totally do that, and yes, you'll get a smaller bag that way. I prefer the stealth factor thing, because when I'm walking around spots and whatnot, or walking around the streets, I just prefer not to advertise, hey, I have all these, you know, I'm a drone pilot, or I got drones everywhere, or this or that. So that's kind of one thing, and it's discreet. But the second thing that I really like about this bag is okay, it's the Think Tank Airport Helipack. As the name implies, one really cool thing about this bag is that it's designed to fit perfectly within the restrictions of what the airlines allow you for carry-on luggage and stuff like that. And I've traveled with this thing twice. I actually travel with it as my personal, like my only baggage. I take all my drone stuff out and I put my clothes and stuff in. It's excellent for, I can fit everything I need for like a week of traveling in this thing, no problem, and it goes carry on like a champ every single time. So that's another thing I like about it, is travel friendly. The other thing I like is just the general protection, right? So if this thing were to, like, one thing I think people don't really think about when you strap quads on the outside of the bag is that, yeah, you're saving space and having a smaller bag, but I find that those quads on the outside, they snag on stuff. You put it in the back of the car, and you know, things will load up the Jeep or whatever, and you tend to like chuck stuff on top of your quads. I don't like that so much, but they snag on shit. So if you're like walking around with it on your back and you're in, say, in an elevator or whatever, and you turn around, you know, your props are gonna stab people and all that kind of stuff. Like, I would load this up if I want to take out all my quads, and I could fit probably, like, I'm guessing, but in theory, yeah, I could probably put about 8 quads on this thing and go around if I want, but I prefer not to do it. I can actually fit like 4 quads just inside here. So I'm gonna, oh shit, I got another pilot somewhere. Who's flying? Got another pilot. Alright, anyway, so I'm just gonna quickly open this sucker up. Now, it's got a lot of stuff I'm not using today. This chair I'm sitting on, I can actually fold this shit up and stick it in the side pocket here and strap it. So I can carry my chair, I can carry my quad picker tool, and I'm not even doing that today. Drinks or whatever. These side things, they're like huge. I usually use them if I'm not putting my chair in it. Like, I'll put my, you know, beat up props and everything in there. The other thing I'm not even using today is like this thing here for the laptop sleeve, because I don't, you know, I tune, and then when I tune, I'm done. I don't tune on an ongoing basis. But this is tons of room. I can fit a 13-inch laptop or a 15-inch in here, no problems whatsoever. And yeah, I'm not even using that today. So let's just jump to what's inside. All right, so I'm gonna open this dude up now. So the other thing I like about this dude is he's got a really good handle on it, really good quality strap, so it's comfortable to stick on your back. This handle, you know, you can load it up and it's just not going to snap off or anything like that. I snapped something on the bottom of it just because it dangled down, it like dangled into my Jeep door, and I just decapitated something on the bottom. That has not affected the functionality of the bag. So I'm gonna go inside now and show you guys how I set this sucker up. So in the top, that's usually where I keep my props. I have maybe like 6 sets in there today because I don't need that many, but I can load that up with like 20 plus sets of props, no problem. And then in this second thing, that's usually where I keep my lap timer. So I keep an Android phone in there and a lap timer. Today it's empty because I'm just freestyling. And now the layout of this thing inside, so this is the cool part. So I rip this thing open and I literally set it down like this, and it stays like this all day long. Now first of all, I got 2 quads in there, right? So I got 2 roosters. They just literally stack in. Yeah, maybe you fiddle with a prop or something here and there, but that's it. I can get up to, I think, like 4 quads. Like 3 is no problem. I mean, these things have the TPU protectors on it, so they're taking a little extra space today. But oh, I actually have 3 quads in here because I have my baby hawk down at the bottom, which I didn't notice, but fair enough. 3 or 4 quads, no problem. That's for me more than enough for any day when I'm racing or freestyling. So my quads fit like a charm. My goggles fit like a charm. I just pull them out, plug them in, boom, ready to go with the goggles. For the radio, I do remove the antenna, but again, my Taranis just pulls out of here. Take off my little TPU gimbal protectors, and I'll screw in my antenna to my crossfire. Quite often I screw the antenna into that by mistake, and then I go, duh. Oh, and shout out to Bob Ruge, you got your cow. He's an awesome guy, I love his videos, right? Because that's a whole other topic. So that just will screw in there generally. So pow, pow, pow. And then all I got to do is just grab me a lipo. And of course my GoPro's usually inside the quad already. So yeah, grab a lipo, pop a lipo on the quad, and I'm ready to fly in like just a few minutes. It's like super easy to deploy. So I like that ease of just deployment. You know, I don't need to like open a bunch of cases and stuff like that. And if I got to pack it up again, you know, super easy, right? Boom. Just chuck the quad back in the bag. The Taranis is a little bit fiddlier because, you know, I like to protect the gimbals on it, so I'll put on the gimbal protection switch, or sorry, the gimbal protectors, whatever. And I'll normally unscrew the antenna, but just case in point, right? I can deploy and undeploy real quick, so I can move around pretty fast if I want to, although I normally take my time. Okay, so besides all that stuff, there's also tons of room for my fat truck batteries in here. So this is kind of my goggle area, and so I got room for about, I don't know, 20-30 lipos in the back compartment here. This guy is just tools. It's pretty empty right now. This is where I keep all my like spare hardware and stuff like that. I actually got this from Loa Pro, but you know, everyone needs like extra just screws and I don't know, maybe cams, transmitters. This isn't designed to fit ideally in the bag, but it fits pretty good. So I got yeah, I'm obviously not like super pro, so I just got bags of screws, prop nuts, and just basic stuff for now. I got lipo straps stuck in here. But basically this dude never comes out of his shell, never even comes out of the bag unless something breaks, you know, and I need to start replacing parts. And again, it's like just super convenient that way. So I can field repair super easy, but when I don't need to field repair, there's like nothing really in my way. So the other thing I like here, and I'm gonna give away some of my little tips here, but I always got a rag to clean my quads off, but one of the secret weapons for me is a paintbrush. So when you get in mud and shit like that, you know, you got to let it dry a bit, but then it's easy to just like get rid of the mud and stuff like that. So I can fit that paintbrush in there, no problem. I could probably get a smaller one. That's just what I carry. along the bottom. And then here I've got literally all the tools I need to work on my quad, including a soldering iron. So we got prop tool, which gets used a lot. I got all my hexes, and I got my screwdriver, and that's literally all I need. Of course, scissors, super important, because with our quads you've got tons of tape, right? So I got all the hockey tape, got my double-sided tape, got my electrical tape. So kind of that loose junky stuff, I just shove it in here. And last but not least, so Think Tank makes these little tiny packs like this for GoPros and stuff like that, but this is where I put the cords for the, so this is if I have to go, ouch, sorry guys, sorry, but so that's where I got my cords for my soldering iron. I got a little more solder in that one, and then in the other side I have all my stuff to like adjust my FPV camera. So in this side of it I've got some stuff, right, but important stuff. So I got my ISDT like battery checker, because I am irresponsible with batteries and I blow them up. I've got the XT60 to Fat Shark adapter here, so if I ever do run out of goggle batteries or something, I can power them off a LiPo. And then I've got two different, like I've got these camera OSD thingies, because with a Foxeer camera you can just plug this in and change camera settings on the fly, and all that like loose stuff just fits really nicely in this little pouch. I don't know, I might buy like more of these pouches because they're really cool for stashing like random stuff in it, and they're well protected, just flexible enough to fit stuff in. And that's pretty much all there is to this bag. There's a lot of other bags out there. What I love about this guy is I come out, right, and I come out, I plonk out my chair, plonk down my bag, rip it open, and I generally don't have to move it all day. I can fly around, I can break stuff, I can fix stuff, and then when I'm done I just pack it all up and I'm out. So I love the utility of it. It really works for me. The size is great, and it carries everything I need to carry, and I could put a lot more stuff in here if I want to, but I'm just bringing what I need. To me, I love it, and that's why I'm yakking about it to you guys. So, you know, take it as you will. I think it's a really awesome bag. Totally highly recommend it. It's not going to be for everyone, you know, but for me, like, I totally love it, and I would highly recommend it. Now, to be fair, right, so downsides, let me think, right? So for downsides, what I wish, given that it's an FPV pack, one downside, or one thing that I'd really like to see is like something to like hold LiPos better. Like I kind of wish there was sort of a something along the lines of this thing or something, but like a LiPo 6-pack thing where I could just like plunk in 6 packs of LiPos and it would hold them, you know, in the generally correct orientation stuff. That would just be way more space efficient, because as you see, my LiPos tend to flop around, and this is not a space efficient way to organize your LiPos. And also, I mean, I've got these, like, I always cap my LiPos off, but if I had some sort of arrangement thing for my LiPos, given that I carry like, you know, 20, 30, whatever LiPos, I don't know, it'd make life a little more organized, because then if my LiPos are tidy, I just have a little bit less mess in this bag. And for these tool things, you know, they could be, I think they should be like I think the straps for the tools should be maybe a little higher up so that they'd hold the handles, but you can still put the tool sides, like generally the sharp side, down, so that way when you're opening the bag and you're digging, like the reason I face them down is so I'm not cutting myself when I'm fumbling around in here. But having said that, I find that, you know, they flop around a bit. Like, I don't have big problems with it, but I mean, if they were just a little bit higher up, it would be like super slick, because they would just be like bang, super tight and in and out and awesome. Like I would say it should be maybe almost like 2/3 of the way up or something like that. Not really, I don't know, not really a complaint, I guess, just kind of an observation. And that's pretty much all I could complain about with this guy. There's literally nothing else wrong with the bag. I'm just trying to be, you know, fair and objective and all that as I can. So there you go. Take it as you like. I'm gonna go off and fly, and I see there's another dude around the park, so I'm gonna go and harass his ass too. So that's it. Peace out.